What is up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And today we need to jump back into the Kaspa chart and check the action and determine what is possibly going to happen in the short term and what is likely to happen in the midterm. All right, before I begin, let me remind you that this is not financial advice. And if you are too stupid to understand that, I'm going to need you to go right now and watch somebody else's video, because we are not going to have any stupid comments today trolling me for giving the disclaimer. The disclaimer is for the dodo birds. Okay? So if you complain about the disclaimer, you are admitting, that is a self-ascribed admission, that you are a dodo bird. All right? Dodo birds aside, welcome everybody who is in the gang, who follows me. Glad to have you here and glad to provide you with this update. So on the last couple of videos that we did, Kaspa has been kind of jumping up, jumping down, kind of fooling me, where at first I said it was going to definitely go through a correction. Then I came back and said, uh-oh, it's going to melt up. We're going to have another blast off and maybe hit a quarter. And then the next day, the chart turned around and did the exact opposite, even though I said it was a 50-50. And hey, there's no way that we can ever really be sure. But what you got to do is just look at the chart, look at some of the indications and get a good feel of it and talk about probabilities. Now, I'm going to show you the one-day chart and the one-week chart, and you are going to see kind of where I'm coming from. I think you're going to agree with me that we're probably looking at a little bit more of a correction coming in. And so I've been watching a few Kaspa videos. In fact, I just watched the Crypto Galaxy. CG just watched that video. He seems to have the same opinion that I do. So we're going to look at this chart, and we're going to call this just chart reading and chart analysis, so we can kind of filter through the trolls that always come at me with the technical analysis doesn't work. You did a bunch of lines and crap. Sorry for being so sarcastic, but I just get sick of that and people saying that. By the way, to clarify, when I'm trolling the dodo birds who tell me the technical analysis doesn't work, I am not trolling. Somebody asked me, are you talking about CG? And no, I am not. What he calls technical analysis that he trolls is, I don't like it either. Because what he's referring to are the people that put a bazillion lines on the screen and they got all this crap going on. They're being overly technical, over analyzing, and they swear to God that they really know what's going to happen. And you've seen the big YouTubers out there. I won't mention any names. One of them has a ponytail and was telling us that Bitcoin was going to go back to 11,000. And we see how that worked out. But he is one example, not to mention his name, of people that go too far with it. And so I am of the same opinion of CG. In fact, I think he's a brilliant young man. He does a great job with his videos. And it's just a difference in nomenclature. So what he does, he looks at the chart and he says it's simple. That's the same thing I say. And he says that it's just a gut feeling. So rather than me calling it technical analysis, it's just chart reading. So I look at the chart with some simple indicators and just kind of get a feel for what could happen, but we don't know what's going to happen. So for clarification, I am 100% in agreement with how Crypto Galaxy looks at charts, because it is a gut feeling and he is doing the same thing that I'm doing. We just call it different things. I call it technical analysis, but it's really chart reading. And I need to get away from the word technical analysis. And that will alleviate some of the trolls that keep coming in and complaining, whining, and crying about it. And start calling it chart reading, which is exactly the same of what CG is doing. And I love his videos because they're simple, they're not overly technical, and it's getting a gut feeling and talking about the fact that it's all probability. It's a roll of the dice, and we could be wrong. Nobody can predict what's going to happen. I cannot stand the extremes where you have the people on the far right where they've got a million lines and regressions and this and that all over the chart that take TA to the, the 99th degree, going overboard. And then you have the people on the other end of the spectrum who do no technical analysis. Neither do they even get a feel for what the chart looks like. And that example would be George. George, welcome to Crypto the Earth. I am George. We're all George. I watch George's videos every day, and he's very good for reporting what's going on in the market. I enjoy his videos. They're refreshing and fun. He tends to be more positive and kind of an eternal optimist, but he does not read the charts. And that's okay. I mean, he's not here for that. He's not making a name for that. But he goes to that extreme where he can't look at the chart. He'll say Bitcoin is going to blow up, or he'll look at this chart right here. Oh, Kaspa's going to blow up. And it's like you can clearly see that, no, this thing is not going to make an upward move. So starting right here on the one-day chart, we do have this nice little green candle here. Now, just a few days ago, when I did that last video, there was people saying that there's no way Kaspa was going back down to 10 cents or even 8 cents. And then there was other people saying 8 cents is incoming. It was about kind of a 50-50. People were arguing back and forth. But it looks like we probably will, because you can see the wick on this candle right here, which is not closed. And we don't know if it's going to stay green. But we have already wicked down to 9.5 cents. And then that's just like right above the volume node at 0.093. Okay. And so if we fail this volume node, there's nothing to hold that below. We are going to test the bottom of this channel. It could be like 7.9. If we fail that, because you see that there's a slip zone right below that. The slip zone is where you don't have much trading volume going on at a particular price. That's what the VPVR is. It'll slip down to that next node. So there's a chance, I'm not saying it's going to happen, there's a chance that we could slip down to this next node that's somewhere around 6 cents. Okay? And that doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Now, we might bounce back up and blow off to the moon. But looking at this chart right now, we do have a little crossover here of the stochastic. Okay, and we have made it to the bottom of this wave, but it could kind of jump up and down. It could like do this and stay down here, just like it stayed up here several times. It's not pretty. It'll be ugly, and then it'll start to do another wave up once that's done. But kind of the indication that I'm seeing that tells me that this stochastic is not done yet. Look at the MACD oscillators. See the distance between the blue line and the orange line? It's equidistant. See the momentum, the slope of the lines is pretty even. See the histogram bar right there? It's solid red. It was kind of fooling us when we had all these head fakes. It went from solid red to light red, solid red to light red, now solid red. But the oscillators the whole time were going in this direction. Okay, we got a pretty good velocity there. So that says that this little impending crossover might not hold. Really, it's a positive. I hope we get to 6 cents. That's what I want to see. We could wick up to here and then bump our head on the 50 EMA where this blue line is. See this line? That's the 50 EMA. Okay? And it ain't nothing but waves. Go back to that last video I did on the waves. Okay? Think of this as just, it's waves, like in the ocean. Wave up and down, wave up and down, wave up and down, up and down. Okay, it's just waves. So we're going to wave up, and then we'll probably wave down. And then we'll wave up again and then wave down. And we'll just have to see where this takes us. But we don't know what's going to happen in first quarter of 2024 or how long the current bearish trending trading channel will go. And that ain't rocket science either. All we're doing is just connecting the dots, make a line. And notice we are getting lower highs and we're getting lower lows. See that channel? It's just a velocity of movement that's going at a particular angle of descent, and we're bouncing around in between this channel. So it does this. And then all of a sudden one day it's going to break that and it'll start doing this. And that means that you're going to have a new swing channel. See, that's very easy. Put a couple lines there and you have a new swing channel. Not complicated at all. Just keeping it simple for the masses. Nothing to, confuse you here. We're not getting overly technical. We're not throwing tons of regressions and numbers and analysis and complex, convoluted formulas. We're just keeping it simple. Now, when we look at the 1 week chart, this will let us know where we are in the bigger picture. Whereas, when we come up from this stochastic and we come up to another high peak, is that going to be a reverse in trend or is it going to make a lower high? Okay, and we look to the 1 week chart to tell us that. Here was a lower high right there, okay? And then, of course, we had another lower high right here, all right? We might make another lower high somewhere over here. And I'll show you why. So it looks like we're ready to go bullish mode and start coming up. But that is within a bigger cycle on the 1 week chart where these candles take a whole week to complete. Now, when you look at the waves on the 1 week chart, what do we see? We see the stochastic where it glanced off here, it glanced off there, and now it's falling off. Momentum is headed this way, and notice how the blue line is falling away from the orange line. And what do we see downstairs? We see the blue line is curling on down, and it's wanting to find the orange line and cross it over. And the evidence for this impending crossover is this. Light green bars on the histogram. We went from dark green to light green. Why? Because the dark green coincided with this pump, okay? As a matter of fact, let's make that green. So here's the solid green bars on the histogram. Look where that is. It's on this pump, green candles. And now look, when it turns to light green, it coincides with these red candles there. Look at that, see? Look at that. Would you look at that, folks? Sometimes you just gotta look at it. So now, here on this chart, we can see that I've got a few lines, simple lines, very simple, just trading channels, okay? When we make a line there that connects the dots of the higher highs or higher lows and the higher highs, we had like a parallel thingy going on like this. And so now we're going to come back down and find the base, just like we did before, and I'll show you that. So what can happen is we can come back into this zone and we'll be regular again. And it could jump down to the bottom of this little parallel channel that I drew. And it could be anywhere from, 7 cents or 6 cents, somewhere around there. I think chances are 6 cents could be the bottom. And that's not to say that it's absolute, because there's another channel right before that at 4 cents where we know we had some support and resistance. Okay, you got that? Now let's run back to the 1 day chart and just look at something. Let me show you something here. We're going to look at this last long channel. Okay, folks, look at this. Would y'all look at that? So here's the price bouncing at the bottom of the channel. Then it goes to the top of the channel. Then it goes to the bottom of the channel. Then the top, then the bottom, and then it blows right through it. But then it comes back. It will return back into that channel. You can see that right there. Look, it's curling up and over and coming back to the channel. Well, here's another example of that right back here. As a matter of fact, let's just zoom on up a little bit. We could have written some lines, put some lines on here where you can designate a trending channel. Let's put that on the screen right here as the bottom. And at the time, the top would have been here. Okay. Let's just extend this on. Look at how long that works. Would you look at that? And notice what it did. It blew right out the top. And what did it do after that? It came right back down into the channel. And then what happened? Well, by George, we had a swing. Look at that. Would you look at that? a swing channel. And what happens in the swing channel? Price bounces around like this, going down. And then it changes to another channel. It swings up again. So this is just rinse, wash, and repeat. All right, and that's not rocket science. It's just reading the chart. Quite simple. Quite simple, easy to understand, very easy. All right. So all in all, I think we'll get another buying opportunity below the current price of 10 cents, which is still a great price. I'm probably not going to buy anymore. If it goes to 6 cents, I might. It just depends. I mean, I've got enough. I got 102,000. And I know, that's just a rookie bag. Go ahead, post it in the comments. Whoever that ding dong was that had to insult me because of my very small bag. Well, you know what? I'm happy with my very small bag. I'm not sitting here and making videos so I can brag and boast that I'm rich and I got it like that. I work hard for a living, okay? I'm not rich. I'm using this to leverage my income, okay? And I want to become a multimillionaire. I will get there, but I'm not there yet. So I'm satisfied with what I have. Well, that's about all I've got for this video. I don't want to make this one too long, but one thing I know for sure, I would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to the Crypto Pro channel. And if you would like to help me to cover the extreme cost of producing this channel, thanks to the inflation rates that are being exacerbated by the current presidential administration, you may do so with the giving of super thanks. And I thank you in advance for your continued support. I'm going to shut up now. This is Carlton, and I am out.